voting for the 2025 national and local elections. Present here today, of course, with Chairman Garcia are the senior officials of the Commission on Elections, headed by Executive Director Tio Pisoy Elnas Jr., Deputy Executive Director for Operations Rafael B. Olanyo, and our Project Manager and Project Head of the Project Management Office and the Head Executive Assistant of Chairman Garcia, Director Esther Villagorojas. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Also with us today, of course, our friends, our partners, kabalikat po ng COMELEC sa halalan, our stakeholders and watchdogs, from the Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting, headed by its National Coordinator, Dr. Arvin Serrano, sir. Magandang umaga po. Dr. William Emmanuel Yu, sir. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Sir James Matthew Wong, and Sir Leonardo Don Camus Jr. Magandang umaga po. Kasama rin po natin ngayon, umaga na ito, ang National Movement for Free Elections, headed by its National Chairperson, Sir Lito Aberia. Magandang umaga po, sir. At yung pong pinakamahalagang component ng activity ngayong umaga, dahil po sila ang magte-test ng ating Election Management System Trusted Bill, ang members po ng Technical Evaluation Committee, headed by its Chair, Dr. Franz De Leon, Director 4 of the Department of Science and Technology, Advanced Science and Technology Institute. Magandang umaga po. Kasama rin po ang DICT representative to the DICT Cybersecurity Bureau Officer in Charge, Dr. Sereno Reno Topacio. Magandang umaga po. And of course, COMELEC's TEC representative, Director Eden C. Bolomam. Kasama rin po natin ngayong umaga, of course, the representatives of the partners of the COMELEC from the Fast Track, the joint venture of Miru, headed by Sir Jason Lee. Sir, where are you? I think he's at the back coordinating from Miru. Please stand up to be recognized. Representatives of Miru. And the representatives of SMS Sequent. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. And of course, our transmission partner from I1. Good morning po sa ating lahat. Of course, sa ating mga kababayan po at mga kaibigan na nanonood sa Facebook and sa YouTube, we're live streaming, and our friends from the media covering the event here and of course online. So a brief overview of what we're going to do today. This is a live test of the EMS. Yung pong EMS, yung po yung sistema na ginagamit po natin para po mapatakbo yung halalan. By the way, nakalimutan ko pong batiin to our friends from Pro VNB in Alabama. Sir Jack Cobb is president. Good morning here. Magandang umaga, and I think it's good evening there. Good morning. The Trusted Bill is a critical process that ensures the integrity, security, and accuracy of the automated election systems to be used in the 2025 national, local, and BARM parliamentary elections. The purpose of the Trusted Bill, one, is to ensure transparency and integrity so that the source code which will be used in the automated election system is inspected, verified, and finalized in a secure environment. It is also our safeguard against any alteration, and it prevents any unauthorized changes to the election software because we will be compiling all the trusted source codes in a controlled, and as you can see, in a witnessed environment. Also, the Trusted Bill is part of our reinforcement of the public's confidence in the AES para po masagawa at ma-build natin ang public trust sa halalang gaganapin. Isa lamang po itong gaganapin ngayong umaga sa mga parte ng ating Trusted Bill process. Nagaganap po tuloy-tuloy hanggang Enero yung local source code review, and as you can see, part of that is the international certification which we are going to do right now. Pagkatapos po nun, again, as I've stated, the compilation of the source code, we witness and document everything, and then, and only then, we will be deploying the trusted code. And who oversees the Trusted Bill process? Diyan po pumapasok yung mandato ng Technical Evaluation Committee under Republic Act 9369 na magkakasama po COMELEC, DOST, and of course, the DICT. Lastly, the goal of the COMELEC in making public and live streaming everything, kasama po itong trusted build process, is a part of our transparency, expanded transparency initiative. Sabi nga po ng mga kaibigan natin sa media, lahat na lang po ng ginawa sa COMELEC, from conceptualization hanggang sa kumuha po kami ng outputs at inputs ninyo sa National Election Summit sa pagbalangkas ng ating tinatawag po na terms of reference, hanggang sa pagpapabidding, pagdating ng makina, pagtetesting ng makina, all sorts of tests, even the deployment. Sabi nga po namin, pati printing ng test ballots ay na-witness ninyo. Ganun po kahalaga ang ating transparency sa proseso. And to begin everything, now for our activity, may I call on Director Dr. Franz De Leon for his opening statement.
Thank you po. Magandang umaga. Attorney Rex, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. So today marks a very important activity sa timeline po ng ating elections for next year. So we are going to perform the trusted bill. Attorney Rex has also mentioned the bill processes na kailangan pagdaanan na bago natin magamit yung election system natin. But for this morning, yung witness natin is the trusted build for the EMS or the election management system. So just to share that Technical Evaluation Committee together with other representatives from the COMELEC and other cities in arms just returned from the US to specifically visit the different facilities being used to test the whole election system, as well as to visit the office of the international certification entity. In this case, that's ProBNB. So we personally verified the activities as well as the objectives and the methodology of the ICE. So we are really working closely with them. Now, admittedly, of course, we are really running with a very tight schedule, but nevertheless, we assure you that the TEC is working very closely with the COMELEC to ensure that we will have accurate, properly working and secure election system. So, muli magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Director De Leon. And for the part of our international certifier, we now call on the President of ProBNB, Mr. Jack Cobb, for his message.
Mass, and this is to show chain of custody from a independent third party away from the provider. In this case is Maru, and this is to allow some confidence in the fact that we have accepted the source code, we have reviewed the source code, we now have collected all of the artifacts and prerequisites that need to be conducted, that are needed to conduct this build. And now we're going to try in a transparent manner to conduct the build step by step that is documented. And then we will be transferring the build to the PMO for COMELEC when we return to Manila on January the 4th.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jack. And now, for the message of the Commission on Elections, Chairman George Erwin M. Garcia.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Maraming salamat kahit magpapasko. Nandito kayo lahat, lalo-lalo na sa TEC, sa ating mga stakeholder, sa pamumuno ng NAMFREL at PPCRD, sa inyo po lahat, sa mga kasama natin sa media. Ito na po yung huling bahagi sa taong ito, yung isa sa mga highlights ng ating automated election system, ito pong trusted bill. At may mga pinamahagi po sa inyo para mas simplified kung ano ang mga gagawin po natin dito. I was informed nung nandun sila sa Colorado, nasaksihan ng PPCR Vietnam Friend, kasama rin ng TEC, para lang makita niyo yung machine, nag-underwent siya ng napaka-bigat na mga test katulad, halimbawa noong stress test na sinubukan sa napaka-importante environment at pagkatapos kahit yung mga smoke, etc. sinubukan ang lahat-lahat. Ang kulang na lang kung hindi tayo nagkakamali ay electrical, which will happen yata today or tomorrow sa kanila, kasi gabi sa kanila ngayon. So, yan lahat na yan, kasama na rin yung sa OVCS at sa transmission, mag-a-undergo ng ganung klase mga test lahat. Yun ang dahilan kung bakit ng mga nakakaraan, tinatanong tayo ng media, kung nailabas na natin yung ballot faces, sabi natin makihintay lang sapagkat kinakailangan muna namin magkaroon ng trusted bill. In fact, available na sa amin lahat ngayon, ang lahat ng mga listahan ng kandidato sa buong bansa. Tinanggal na namin yung mga dapat tanggalin. Yung mga mahahabol pa bago mag-January 6, tatanggalin na rin namin. Ang yun ang kagandahan po kung bakit minarapat natin na alisin ang lahat ng mga nuisance candidates doon sa ating listahan. Yung po ang kadahilanan kung bakit yung ilalabas namin na mga listahan ng botante sa buong bansa, national man siya or local, will no longer contain candidates which we declared already as nuisance. Hanggang impact level na po lahat yun. In fact, may mga cancellation ng candidacy rin na ginawa ang COMELEC at yan din ay marereflect na sa ating mga ballot faces. So asahan niyo po, pagkatapos ito ay mailalabas na natin yan sa ating website. Ang kasunod na po nito, of course, sa January 6, iniimbitahan ko ang lahat, lalo na ang miyembro ng media, ang ating Citizens Arm, kasi start na ang COMELEC sa printing ng ating mga balota. I think we'll be going to the National Printing Office by 1 o'clock in the morning. Kasi meron lang tayo mga events sa umaga. So 1 o'clock tayo sa NPO. Eksakto yun sa media. Eksakto sa inyo. 1 o'clock tayo doon para masaksihan nyo yung initial batch ng balota na i-imprenta ng Commission on Election using the 2 new machines. In fact, for your information, pinastandby din namin ang machines ng NPO para kung sakasakali, kakailanganin ng reinforcement na andyan lahat yung mga machines available. Kasi at least ang National Printing Office naman ang bahala sa printing ng balota. Immediately after this activity, yours truly, together with the Committee on Printing, will be meeting with the new Director of the National Printing Office, formerly the USEC of DepEd. USEC Reg C. Escobedo is now the National Printing Office Director. He was appointed the other day by the President and took his own, and therefore, makikipag-coordinate tayo sa kanila. After po ng printing, meron din po tayong tinatawag na mock election sa buong bansa. So pag-i-expect niyo po yung mock election which will happen second week of January. Second week of January, Ma'am Esther, no? Second week of January. Again, kung meron po mga palagay nyo kulang kami, sa inyong palagay dapat pa namin ilantad sa publiko, lalong-lalo na sa mga citizen arm. Katulad ng binanggit kanina sa akin ni Dr. William Yu, we are very much willing because we have transparency is the name of the game. We have to be very open, especially to suggestions by everyone, because we do not want to leave any stone untouched. We want everybody to know what is happening and to make, if there are certain adjustments that the COMELEC will need to do, then we will be open to your suggestion. We will make the necessary adjustment because what is important is that we erase any doubt as regards our automated election system. And for your information, as far as the COMELEC is concerned, we will proceed likewise with the printing of the ballots in the Bangsamoro. Ballots for the Bangsamoro, we will do that also beginning January 6 of 2025. So maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Maligayang Pasko at maligayang bagong taon.
Maraming salamat po, Chairman Garcia. And now, to begin the live test of the the EMS Trust Bill, I turn it over to Sir Jack Cobb and Hunter Medlock for your testing. Sir?
Thank you. I would like to start off by giving everyone some expectations for tonight, or this morning for you guys. This is a totally different manufacturer, and I know that for 10 plus years, you guys have seen the Smartmatic builds. This is a very different build, and at a high level, I'm going to go over kind of a summary of what to expect. First off, they use virtual machines, so there is no machine to show that there's no scrubbing. We're going to create the machine. What we're doing is the host is a clean install of Windows that has a clean install of virtual machine on it. Virtual box on it. We will be starting from there, setting the parameters for our guest OS, the guest machine, and then we will be following the procedures provided to us by Meru. And we will be, anything that is going into the system will be coming from a drive that we have downloaded everything, and it will only be introduced if it comes off this drive. If something doesn't work, we may stop and regroup, but we have done this a few times and takes about 30 minutes, with the longest part, the install of the Linux operating system. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Hunter. We may have some issues with the camera that is currently on the screen, but we won't know until we get into Linux. And on the on the terminal screen, we're going to go with yellow writing on a black background at a certain font. If anyone has any problems, I'm going to be away so Hunter can exercise this, and I'll be watching for different chats and different things to try to tell us, hey, this is too blurry. Please chime in. We don't want to go too fast. This is only going to take about 30 to 45 minutes. So I'd rather everyone get to see it than kind of say, well, I didn't get to see this. So everyone take your time to use the chat. If you're having problems viewing it, we'll try to get it as clear as we can, and so everyone can read it and understand it. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Hunter Medlock, who is going to step you through what he's going to be doing on the screen.
Yep. Thank you, Jack. As Jack said, the first thing we got to do is create the virtual machine. So that is what we will be starting with now. And I'm right now ensuring that the Ubuntu 24.04.1 is the ISO image that it's going to use to install. I'm creating the user right now. I'm going to set the RAM to 4 gigs, and we're going to run 4 CPUs. I'm going to set the hard drive to 50 gigabytes. And we're going to click finish. So now we're going to start the virtual machine to start the installation of Ubuntu.
Laptop to laptop. Check.
Just to explain po, kaya po medyo malabo yung screen, it's because the laptop is independent and not connected to the internet. Hindi po siya pwedeng ikabit sa MS Teams. That's why nakikita niyo po, tinutukan lang po ng webcam yung screen. Sadya po talaga yan na hindi pwedeng i-connecta sa kahit na anong peripheral, especially to the internet. But as explained by Jack Cobb, maya-maya po ililino ng konti yan, the environment will be changed, magpa-black background po sila at gagamitan po nila ng yellow light, i-increase nila yung font para makita po natin. Thank you.
And I'm just going through right now and selecting all the options to continue with the installation as we go through. And now we're starting the process of installing the video.
Okay na eh. Kasi pag feeling ka na, kailangan yung opening ng budget mo. Ito, pasto, bakasyon na, oo. Ayun, pinasag yung mga pasto. Hindi ako, pasto din ako, kailangan ko lang kailangan ko lang Kasama sa naman ako kahapon. Tatlong terminal. Pinakalakas niya rin. Sino dyan ginagawa? Connection.
So this is, as Jack had mentioned earlier, the longest part of the build. So once this is completed, the next step that I have to do is I need to power off the unit, or power off the virtual machine. I have to go into settings and allow USB 3 connectivity. So that'll be the next thing you see me do once the virtual machine is off. Once that's completed, we will power it back on, and then we will continue on with the build process. create that was provided. See if I can convert to
This is an opportunity for anyone to take a picture that wants to capture the hash value of the actual EMS zip. We will be creating a manifest of every file decompressed. We'll have a manifest of every file that's in there that will travel with the source code hash, the build, and the build hash. We're going to move on.
So we're going to copy this into that folder we just created. And now I'm going to open a terminal, and we are going to get the SHA-256 of that folder, so of that file, so that we can then show that it's the same.
And we're going to leave this up for about 60 seconds. If anyone wants to take a picture to verify the code that was transferred has been transferred correctly.
Okay, I'm going to move on now. Hold on, Dr. Hughes. Come in.
Dr. Yu, can you give us a thumbs up if we can move forward?
We are starting the unzip process. And now I'm going to start creating the hash values of the entire directory. The unzip.
Now we need to put those CDS folder in the file and make sure it's revised out. Scroll down. Make sure it looks like it's comprehensive.
Dr. Yu, is this a manifest? Thumbs up? Good.
Okay, so there's one more step we have to do with the code, and that is the previous builds that we had, this folder was not here. Everything in here, all I'm doing is moving it one up. So I'm going to copy all of them, I'm going to cut, I'm going to paste in here, and now I'm going to delete this folder. And we're going to do this again for this one as well. Control A. I'm going to cut everything. We're going to paste everything one folder up. And we're going to delete that folder. And now I'm going to move on. There is one more step we need to do for Gradle, And this was because it needed to have an online build previously to get a .Gradle folder. So we need to bring that over into the build environment. So that is going to be this Gradle offline. And I'm going to copy this, but I'm going to put this in documents instead, just for ease of use when copying everything over. And there it is. So we're going to take this Gradle.zip file, and we're going to put it in the PHEMS folder that we created that has the extracted source code. We're going to open up a terminal, and we're going to type the following command. Apologies, I typed the wrong command. It was supposed to be tac Q, and I did a P. We're going to do LL. This .Gradle right here is the folder we were looking for. Now we need to reference that .Gradle folder and do some environment variables. And we are setting this to the folder that we had just extracted. As you can see, right, this echo command shows us that the previous command is set correctly.
Ayaw na. Nawala na yung kitabi ko sa. Nawala.
We're moving into the EMS folder, and we're going to now start the build script for the EMS code. Okay, I need to, the path didn't set correctly, so I need to go back and check that.
Oo, natapon yung kape mo. Hindi pa. Tama ko. Standby kasi.
I want to review the steps real quick.
Ramay sa minay. Yung pa na. Lumipat dun.
Kasi nag-send ka ng ano.
Inside to the cage. Says take it on. Wow. SHA,
Sipag ng assistant ah. Yun talaga eh. Pala eh. Kaya pala masipag eh.
Dami sa labihin.
Baka manawala.
Export cradle home. Take this export cradle home. Okay. And run that thing.
Ako, wala kang audio na naman.
Instead of doing a message, including the, now in a second.
Saglit lang naman yun.
Good. All right. Try some. Yeah. Now go. So cradle user path needs to be typed in.
Okay, so I was having issues with the path, so that's what we were working on right there.
This one. You're connected, right?
Yeah.
So try it again.
Yung problema yun. Pag nititest ka,
Nung pa sa party, pinapark ko ng maayos. Dahil sa party, yung mama hinabol ako. Minsan ako, double park na yung ang laking lang narating balik. Nagdala ko lang, balik. Tapos nahuli na, wala ako.
lunis na lunis pa.
Sabi ko na, uubos na.
Lunis ngayon. Nag-guess daw yan.
Hindi, wala kayong pasok mo.
Okay, so I was having issues with the path. I ran the build script, it built. So now we're going to make the war file, the Gradle.war, and that is what will be copied over to the Common USB drive and Protean B USB drive. Okay, so now that that is built, I'm going to go navigate to where the file is. And that is in the build. And then inside this lips folder is the board file. So we're going to create a shot of that everyone can have.
Nag-aaral na ako nababag sa pagiging.
Hindi ka pa ba binigyan ng 60 gig na ano? Ito? 60 gig? Hindi ka binigyan?
Ano siya?
Ito lang.
Ano yung
1 hour din. Pang hearing. Dapat congress ang
Can we get that larger? That's good right there.
This is an opportunity for about 60 seconds where you want to take a picture of the final trusted build candidate 1 for the EMS. This will travel with the product of the build.
Here. Yeah.
We are waiting on a thumbs up from the TEC and the citizens arm. If everyone gives us a thumbs up, we'll move forward. Okay, thank you, Dr. Yu. We're now going to copy the source manifest, the source hash value, the product, the war file, the tier, and this hash value all to a thumb drive for Complex. This is going to be where we copy everything onto that we're going to seal up in a minute and take with us back to Manila on January 4th.
Sige, takalagay din yung tayo na. Wala, 10 million lang ulit. Yung nagpalit ko, yung nakalagay sa akin ko. 10 million.
Yes. Okay, so that has now been connected to the virtual machine, and we're going to start the process of copying all the artifacts off. We're going to first start with the build.
Okay na kayo na.
I'm getting the source code right now, and the build, the hash value for that source code. Yes, they're copying over right now.
And then we need the manifest for the source code.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab the manifest while that's going on.
And that's for it.
Yep, and then this is the manifest.
Hold on.
We need to run a hash value, run SHA sum, SHA 256 hash against what's on the drive. Was actually on the drive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we need to turn it on and find out wherever the drive is.
You want like everything?
No,
Just make sure.
just the build is what we say and
Okay.
transfer it over.
Okay.
To verify that the build made it. All right, just safely eject that.
Ano doon? May pakape.
Fred, itabi mo lang yun. Kapag pa nakita ko
Sa office ko.
alam mo naman. Bakit lang mo pa na isa dyan?
So now, hold on, you hold that. We need to change the main picture. They just haven't done it. This is the thumb drive. So that's our. This is going to be the envelope. Get that in there. So that right here, take the seal. Pull the strip, the security strip. Close it. Put the seal on top. Sign it. Try to go across the seal as much as you can. It may not completely right. Go onto the paper also. There you go. And then I'm going to sign this. Please show the seal to the. Those are our two signatures. Please read out the number and then put it back up so people can see it.
It is 23B04220.
Now put it back up. Anybody wants to photograph that, they're welcome to. Hunter's signature is on the top and Jack's is on the bottom. We'll be bringing this to Manila with us on January 4th and turning it over to the Connolly PMO. And the last stage of this build is now going to be to shred the device. Oh, hold on, I'm sorry, I forgot. We have to get a copy of this also, sorry. So this is going to be Protean B's copy. And we're going to copy the same 5 items over to our drive. What are you copying over now?
I'm copying over the bill right now. You can just cut it out. It's saying, you put it in. Okay.
copying anything?
I'm copying over the build right now. Okay, the build's copied. We already have the source. And I'm gonna copy the manifest as well. And I've got that. So I'm gonna eject power drive now.
Yes. Eject that or out?
Okay, and say to reject.
Good. And now, we'll start the shred procedure. As a final step in all of this, we are going to start a shred procedure. Even though this is a virtual box and we can simply delete it, we want to make sure that there's a lot of confidence that this can never be built again. This one build has 2 copies. One's going to Comelec and one is in ProD&D's hands. There can't be another copy of this floating around unless it comes from ProD&D or Comelec. And after the shred is over, right now we're running the shred 3 times. It's going to black out on itself, but we're going to go ahead and just sudo shred. There you go. We're going to let it run as long as it'll run, and then we'll delete the virtual box so that it can never happen again for 3 minutes. I'm sure nothing said.
Nakakalipid kami.
Bingo.
And the shredding process is starting now.
Ay, tapos din. Ang kulo mo nasa gitna. Nasa gitna siya, di ba?
And if anyone wants to watch, this will probably take about 30 to 45 minutes. But eventually you'll get a black screen as the video drivers get deleted and things of that nature. Once this is all said and done, probably in 12 hours, we'll come in and delete the virtual box.
Yes.
If the stream is still up, you can watch the virtual box be destroyed.
And this concludes our part of the EMS Final Trust Build candidate.
This is candidate 1. If anything is found in testing or downstream in the mock elections or anywhere else, we may have to do this all over again, but for now, this is the final trusted build of the EMS. I don't know if Comelec or the TEC wants to say anything else, or is this a good evening for us, or good night for us, and have a good rest of the day for you guys?
Thank you very much, Sir Jack and Hunter, for the demonstration of the test of the trusted build. So the last part that we saw is the shredding of the virtual box, so that the only copy left is the one which was certified by the ProD&D, and we thank ProD&D for that. So right now, we're going to the part where the Miro representatives will be confirming. Can I ask Sir Jason, please, to come up here and to confirm the issuance of the hash codes that we all saw in the test?
Yes, hello. Jason Lee from Miro. We confirmed the final trust build, ELS candidate 1, that was conducted today morning. Thank you.
So congratulations, of course, to ProD&D, Comelec, Miro for this endeavor. We now so to close our program, we now call on the Deputy Executive Director for Operations and the Head of the Field Operations Group of the COMELEC, Director Rafael B. Olaya.
So thank you, Director Rex. So thank you all for coming. So we witnessed again another part of how COMELEC is so transparent in this election. So maligayang Pasko at maligayang bagong taon sa inyo. Thank you.
Rico, maraming salamat. And Sir Jack Cobb over there in Alabama and Hunter, thank you very much. Magandang gabi at dito po sa Pilipinas, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Election management system ay i-test, sinusubukan, inaalam kasama yung source code, very important. Yung source code natin, dapat hindi yan mapalitan, dapat hindi yan ma-counter, dapat hindi yan ano yung pinakita natin sa publiko at pina-source code review natin, dapat eksakto na yun. Isa lang ito, tungkol ito sa transparency, tungkol ito sa gusto natin lahat, alam natin kung paano magagana yung ating mga makina, yung ating mga sistema pagdating ng eleksyon. Hindi lamang ito yung machine, kasama na dito ang consolidation system, kasama dito ang transmission, kasama dito ang internet voting natin lahat. So, more or less, maaaring napaka-technical yan, pero tatandaan natin, smart po kasi yan ng Republic Act 9369 ng batas natin na sinasabi na dapat ang sistema na gagamitin natin sa isang halalan ay mag-undergo ng napakadaming test. Gusto ko lang sabihin, inuulit ko, maliban sa international certification entity na ginagawa nilang mga test, katulad na rin itong sa Trusted Build, ay meron po tayong papagawa ng test din sa Department of Science and Technology. First time po yan. Magkakaroon tayo ng parallel testing doon, katulad na yung pinapaliwanag natin dati, upang malaman natin kung parehas ba ang magiging findings ng international certifying body at saka ng DOST. Upang sa mga susunod na panahon, pag nakita natin kaya naman pala ng DOST ang lahat na gawin, katulad ng ginagawa ng mga entities na nasa abroad, bakit tayo mag-international certification entity? Pababago na natin ang batas at later on, DOST na naman. So ito po ay parte ng ating transparency. Ang susunod po nito, again, printing ng balota sa January 6 at magpag-usap tayo sa NAMFREL at PPCRB sapagkat kinakailangan ma-finalize na namin yung mga protocol, yung code of conduct para naman ito sa transmission sa kanilang mga server na sila mismo ang kanila yan technically bibigay yan ng posisyon. At syempre, pagkatapos na yung ating mock election, sunod-sunod na test na po yan at sunod-sunod na aktibidad, lalo na pagdating ng buwan ng Enero. Pebrero po kasi, yung ating naman pong training ng mga teachers, ng mga electoral board members na gagamitin natin sa araw na election.
Sir, sa madaling sa madaling lang ano po yung trusted build masyado kasi technical.
Ang ibig sabihin lamang doon, yung bang source code na pinakita natin sa publiko, yung source code, yung utak ng sistema na gagamitin ba natin ay talaga bang at par doon sa QOR na yung ba ay nag-comply sa terms of reference natin. Number 2, doon sa requirement mismo ng international certifying body. At number 3, doon sa mga sinasadya sa atin ng ating mga citizens arm at saka mga stakeholder. Yan ba ay handa na para gamitin sa araw ng election? Ay pina-extend po natin yun, yung source code review na matatapos ngayong Enero para mas maging malalim at mas palawag pa ang magagawa ng ating po mga eksperto, yung mga IT experts. Kaya nga po sana, lalo-lalo na po sa NAMFREL at saka sa PPCR, di pagtsagaan pa po nila ng kanilang mga tauhan, ng kanilang mga technical people, yung source code, alamin, tingnan mabuti, busisiin kung may mga problema pang silang nakikita at upang kung sakasakali, makapagkaroon pa tayo ng mga adjustment kung kakailanganin. Pero yan na po yung final na source code na gagamitin po natin para sa darating na hali.
Sir, may history naman na nag-fail yung testing ng trusted build. What happens if ganito po yung mangyayari?
Pasensya na kayo, wala akong alam na panahon na nagkaroon ng hindi nag-pass o nag-fail Ang alam lang natin, may pagkakataon, at yun, pinupuno lagi dati ng NAMFREL, na hindi on time na ibigay yung certification. Parang dumating mga several or 2 or 3 weeks before the election. Of course, ang nakalagay kasi sa batas, dapat mag-conduct man lang ng source code review o ng international certification 6 months prior to the conduct of the election. So far naman, compliant kami doon sa period na yan. At sinabi sa amin ng ProBNB na matatapusin nila ang lahat mga first week ng January. So kung magkakataon, ano man ang mga problema pa, whatever, kahit paano, malalaman kaagad namin yan sa unang linggo pa lang ng Enero. Tungkol doon sa kung nagkaroon ng failure before, siguro katulad din na Dr. Arwin Serrano at saka sina Sir Lito Avelia, baka pwede nila pa-share kung may mga karanasan tayo ng mga nakakaraan tungkol sa bagay na yun.
But Chair, ano po yung mga parang gina-watch out there kapag ka ganitong testing?
Yan kasi, alam niyo, kung ano yung ginagawa ng DOST, mas gagawin doon sa international certifying body. Katulad nung sinabi nila sa atin, yung mga pumunta sa Colorado, that underwent ang machine ng stress. Talagang sobrang ginamitan siya ng machine to test yung machine kung kaya niya yung sobrang lakas na stress ng pag-ebaw na stress siya na sobra-sobra dahil sa pag-travel, pag-transport, sinubukan niya ng smoke test, yung dust, etc. Inaalam lahat kung kaya niya mag-withstand. So far, lahat ng yun, lahat ng test na ginawa sa kanya ay so far maayos. Sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, electrical na lang ang kulang. Doon sa machine, doon sa fast track natin. Sa transmission, more or less ganun din, ang sisimula naman susunod ay yung tungkol naman sa ating OBCS. Madaming issues sa OBCS. Mga ilan ang issues ng OBCS at nangako naman itong sequent na lahat ng issues na tatapusin nila by January 3. Sasagutin nila ang lahat ng yan. So sana nga, pasagot nila at para maging maayos naman yung magiging certification ng ProBNB.
Sir, dito sa Trusted Bill, dito rin ba makikita yung kung hindi pre-programmed yung mga system?
Sa source code yun. Sa source code. Pero siyempre kasama na rin yan sa titingnan ng ProBNB kaya sa pinagkakatiwala at certifying body. Kahit sa abroad, kahit sa Amerika, sila ginagawa. So kasama na rin yan kung may mga secret instructions or whatever. Pero yan ay talaga makikita sa source code review. Of course, yung source code, yun ang sinabit sa ProBNB ng mismong Miro, ng mismong transmission provider natin, at saka ng mismong sa sequent yung mismong OBCS.
Sir, ano yung issues na sa OBCS? Ano po yung kailangan ayusin?
Kailangan ayusin yung sa issue ng enrollment ng mga kababayan natin na registered voter abroad. Kasi meron mga pagkakataon, yung una, hindi ka agad tinatanggap yung mismo mag-enroll nila. Kinakailangan manually enroll. Manual lang dapat at hindi electronic ang enrollment. Bakit? Kasi remember, meron kasi tayong mga kababayan, hindi kasi renewed yung kanilang passports. Kaya yung mga kababayan natin na TNT o yun ang kanilang category abroad. O kaya naman yung ginamit nilang ID, hindi naman pala yun ang kinikilala ng system. Halimbawa, yung ngayon, yung Siemens Book, kinikilala na. Pero yung national ID, kinakailangan yung ma-input pa doon halimbawa. O kaya naman yung mga other government issued ID. Halimbawa, yung una yung red passport, hindi siya kinilala ng mismo sistema, red passport yun. Kasi hindi yun ang na-input na data, kung hindi yung data ng mga ordinaryo natin mga kababayan, yung kulay maroon na passport. So this time, pagka tinest na yun, yung red passport kinikilala na niya. Yung mismong diplomatic passport kinikilala na rin. And may pinakalagay na bago yung mismong nag-apply ng dual citizenship. Meron kasing certification na ini-issue and sana, sabi ng iba, yung mga ambassador, consuls natin, sabi nila baka pwede pati daw yun, kilalanin ng mismong sistema. So yan po ay inaayos lahat ginawa. Pero meron pa pong iba na mga issue sila na kinakailangan i-submit nung sequel sa probing entity.
Sir, nasa libo ba yung hindi makapag-register sa online kahit kung sa issue?
Wala pa naman. Ang registration natin magsisimula naman sa February pa. Yung mga nag-test lang, meron misa na ilan na hindi pumapasok yung kanilang registration. Kaya ayaw natin ng gano'n. Kahit na sabihin, dapat sa first try pa lang, hanggat maaari, makapagparehistro na yung mga kababayan natin. Mahirap naman na makaka-apat na tries, tapos hindi na nakakapag-register. Baka kasi mawala na sila ng interest, hindi na magpa-register. Ang maganda yung artificial na sistema, yung first try pa lang na registration, dapat napa-register. Ambush yun.
Sino ang target? Meron na bang suspect?
Ang target talaga doon yung aming tauhan, yung Provincial Election Supervisor na Sulu. At siya mismo nag-pinpoint ng bagay na yan. As to kung sino ang pinaghihinalaan, hayaan na lang muna natin ang investigasyon na matatapusin. Pero more or less, may mga lead na sila kung sino ang mga nasa likod nito. At more or less, politiko sapagkat madami kasi ng mga request na hindi pinagbigyan. Yung mga request na sa paniniwala ng ating Provincial Election Supervisor ay makakapag-ensure ng an equal opportunity para sa mga kandidato dyan sa isang parte ng probinsya ng Sulu. Ang mahirap na tanungan, tatanggalin ba natin siya? In the meantime, no. Hindi natin tatanggalin ang Provincial Election Supervisor natin sapagkat parang pinapakita na nanuntuwa ang COMELEC, parang naging successful tuloy yung pananambang na yan. Ang importante, yun ang request natin sa ating pong DILG at PNP, ma-arrest na agad yung mga responsible dito. Mapanagot sila sapagkat mas masakit na yung mismong kapamilya, pinadamay mo dito. Nagpe-perform ka ng trabaho, hindi na ikaw masaktan, kapamilya mo naman ang gagawin. Hindi mo mapaskahindik, hindi pero mas karimari-mari na nagdadamay ng mga taong hindi naman yung mismong inaaway nila.
Pabor na siya.
Kaya dito kasi tayo, mga paglilipat ng mga polling precincts, polling places, lugar kung saan boboto, o kaya naman yung... At this point kasi, pagka kasi hindi mo napagbigyan ang feeling ng ibang politiko sa kalaban yung election officer, sa katotohanan, wala pong magagawa ang aming mga local COMELEC. Mag-ministry na mga duty namin. Sana po wag yung porket nangihingi kayo ng ganito, hindi kayo mapagbigyan, kaaway ka agad. Halimbawa, yung iba dyan nangihingi ng listahan ng botante, gusto may picture. Hindi po namin bibigay talaga yun at all cost. Bakit? Mababayaran ang data privacy. Pero pag hindi mo binigay, galit. At sasabihin, kaya ba siguro binigyan yan. So tapos babantaan yung mga tao namin o kaya ihaharm yung mga tao namin. Ganyan po yung pag-uutak ng ilang politiko.
Sir, before sila,
alam mo yung Sulu, in all fairness, kung meron isang pagkakataon na napakatahimik ang Sulu, ayun. Nung nakarang eleksyon, gano'n na rin. At ngayon, wala akong labanan sa gobernador doon. Ang laban, apat na bayan lang sa mayor. Yung ibang bayan doon, wala na pong laban. Ibig sabihin, sa kauna-una ang pagkakataon, ganyan po tahimik ang Sulu. Tama po, hindi naman nangyari yung pananambang sa Sulu. Nangyari po sa Zamboanga City. Ayaw mo natin attribute yan sa Zamboanga City rin. Mali na sabihin na may breakdown ng peace and order sa Zamboanga. Pero sinasabi po natin, kapag ka talagang ikaw ay susundan ng mga masasamang tao, kahit nasaan ka, pwedeng mangyari yan. May nangyari sa Cotabato City. Sino ang biktima? Barangay chairman doon sa ng Sulu. Pero sa Cotabato City po, tinambangan. So, ibig sabihin natin, walang pinipiling lugar yung mga may kaaway o yung mga may masamang balak sa bawat isa. Ano man po ang posisyon o walang posisyon ng taong gagawa nila ng karasa. So sinasabi po natin, importante po talaga may na-aresto ka agad. Importante po agad may napapanagot. Kapag po wala, ganyan na naman, riding in tandem na naman, pagkatapos okay na. Kasi wala tayong na-aresto. Yan po ay challenge. Sana huwag nilang hintayin na pumasok ang kapangyarihan ng COMELEC sapagkat hindi kami papayag na walang papanagot. Yan po ang tatandaan ng lahat. Bakit pa kami ng deputize ng law enforcement agencies kung hindi rin pala namin po kayang panatiling ayos ang leading to the election of 2020.
Sir, anong position po ng politiko pala na tingin natin yun yung nasa likod ng executive?
Maganda muna siguro, huwag natin sabihin, kung ano ang posisyon, basta politika. Ganun din po sa atin, nununang Lanao del Norte, politiko din po involved doon at lumalabas. Barangay SK elections pa, hindi po sa national and local elections. Ano po ang maliwanag din? Hindi po tapos na election, ligtas na kagad ang mga tauhan namin. Kahit wala bago mag-eleksyon, during the election, at kahit na napakatagal na natapos ang election, yung threat sa mga tauhan namin ay naandun pa rin at hindi nawawala.
Sir, since provincial election supervisor yung tinira po doon, paano yun, sir? Buong probinsya ng Sulu is candidate for Comelec control?
Hindi po tamang sabihin yun, mali rin po. Ang isang insidente ng karahasan ay hindi dapat gawing basihan para sabihin na ang buong probinsya ay dapat ilagay sa tinatawag na Comelec control or area of concern. Mali po yun sapagkat napaka-unfair doon sa ekonomiya, sa pamamahala, sa LGU ng mismong lugar. Hindi natin mapipigilan ang mga taong gagawa ng krimen. Sa buong bansa po yan. Pero ang importante, napapanatili pa rin malinis at maayos yung lugar. So yung Pusulong at this point is not a candidate for area of concern or ilagay siya sa Comelec.
Chair, wala pa namang election period. Pero parang sa kung consider nila ba siyang election related?
Alam niyo po, lahat ng pagkamatay, lahat ng sa lahat ng injuries na address sa isang politiko, sa isang kumakandidato, sa isang incumbent, kahit wala pang election period, is always election related. Sabihin na po natin, kahit pa anong kadahilanan ng pananakit na yan, o krimen na yan, a direct allegation of incumbent or a candidate, election related po yan. And the Comelec will treat that as such. Pasensyahan yan, but we will treat that as such. Sapagkat kung yan man ibabala sa amin, hindi might as well, sige, para pinaghahandaan namin kung ano yung mga areas na dapat namin pagtuunan ng action.
Sir, na-mention niyo po before na nilipat sa safer areas yung mga election officers na nakakatanggap ng evidence. May update po.
Yes po, ang problema kasi, yung mismo mga local Comelec namin, ayaw din nila mismo lumipat o ilipat sila kahit na may natatanggap silang threats. Kasi para sa kanila, kaduwagan yun at lalo lang mananaig yung mismo mga taong nananakot sa kanila. Halimbawa, kung papalitan ba natin ng isang local Comelec, ano iba? Ang ibig sabihin ba yung Comelec na yan, friendly na doon sa mismo nananakot sa kanya? O di parang kinonsinti natin yung nananakot na yan? O kaya naman, anong gagawin sa natin na pag pinalitan na namin yung local Comelec, hindi niya tatakutin din yung papalit dyan sa kanya hanggang hindi niya nakukuha yung gusto niya. Hindi po tayo papayag dyan. Hintayin niyo lang kung pumasok ang election period. At tingnan ko lang kung makakapanakot kayo mga ito.
Sir, ibig sabihin na removing gantong order na nilipat sa safer areas.
Ay, hindi naman revoking, but on a case-to-case basis, we will always study and we will always listen to our personnel from the field. Pag sila mismo nagsabi sa amin, ilipat sila, definitely we are going to transfer them. Pag sinabi nila, Chair, dito muna kami, we will face all the consequences, sino naman kami para pigilan sila? Ang importante, bigyan sila ng sapat na seguridad. And that's the reason why madami sa kanila ang nagre-request ng security from the PNP and from the EFP, bagamat magastos nga po sa kalagayan ng mga local Comelec.
Sir, ilan po yun ang
As of the moment, meron sa Luzon at yung mga ilan talaga sa Mindanao. Pero nilalamang natin hindi sila ilipat agad. Wala naman tayo na nakukuha ng report ng threat sa ating mga regional directors. Dito sa Provincial Election Supervisor, maaaring si Atty. Vince Parnang ang meron. Sa iba naman wala. Dito sa isang area namin, sa region sa ibang EU area, meron kaming binomonitor based intelligence report na threat sa isa namin official dyan. And therefore, nainting kami na nakipag-ugnayan sa kanila.
Yan rin naman po yung namatay o kaya nasaktan in relation to that passport.
Pero sa part ng Comelec, dalawa yung napatay namin, isa sa Nunungan at isa dito sa Ninoy Aquino sa Isulan sa may Sultan Kudarat, and of course yung kamag-anak na. So tatlo yung sa tatlo, more or less, ituring na natin yung kamag-anak bilang kasama na rin sa Comelec. doon naman sa iba, yung mga politicians, etc. Wala akong exact figures, but we usually get this data coming from the PNP. Ang PNP ngayon ay nangangalap na ng mga informasyon para sa pag-determine nila kung sino ilalagay sa public control. Pero, inuulit ko po ang panawagan natin sa ating BILG at sa PNP, buwagin ang private armies bago pumasok ang campaign period sa Pebrero at lalong-lalo na sa Marso 28 kung kailan papasok ang campaign period sa local position. Hindi po mapapanatili ang katahimikan at maayos na halalan kung meron tayong mga private armies na nagagamit ng ilan para ipanakot, i-terrorize at baligtarin yung desisyon at mandato ng sambayanan. Kinakailangan at almost mapawi ang lahat, mabura ang lahat ng yan sa ating pong halalan.
Okay, thank you.